Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain's Video Blog. We are Thursday, October the 6th, 2016, and I feel like I'm just past the tipping point. The tipping point being that I know that I'm asleep, that I'm sleepy, but I'm not gonna fall asleep that easily anymore. The tipping point probably was like maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, just as I was being done watching NXT, I guess. So yeah, I went to Montpellier. I did it. Escaped a hailstorm apparently, but didn't escape the curse of the late trains. Oh boy, I just can't have a break with those. Um, well, I mean, I caught a break the last 2 or 3 times I went to Montpellier. It's just that those were kind of trains that were running slow between two stations, and I was like, oh boy, we're gonna miss the other train. But actually, no, they had calculated all that. So yeah, I'm 50% done with the secondary enlistments. Just can't wait to be done completely. I noticed little interesting things. So yesterday's video blog, I didn't start uploading it before going to sleep as I usually do. I started uploading it when I woke up because I fell asleep before starting the upload. So I started the upload. I had like maybe an hour or two before leaving home to go catch the train. So that's what I did, and in the 2 hours to maybe 2.5 hours, it reached maybe 30%, something like that. And then in the next 45 minutes, the time to go to the train station and arrived in Narbonne, maybe in the next hour, it reached like 50-55%, which is actually a pretty good speed. And then I cut the data because first it uses a lot of my data plan, and second it also uses a lot of my battery. So what I did was wait until I arrived in Montpellier, and holy shit, is the Wi-Fi in the train stations fucking fast. Like, it is insane. It is pretty fucking insane how fast it is. I'm gonna go to the garage right now. Welp. So yeah, pretty fucking fast. How fast? Well, when I cut the data, it was 90 minutes of upload remaining, and when I arrived in Montpellier and when I started the upload with the Wi-Fi, the train station Wi-Fi, it was only 5 minutes. That's how fucking fast it was. So it was around like 40 times faster than the Wi-Fi at home. So yeah, what can I talk about? Oh yeah, the website of the Republican Party, they ran some articles about the vice presidential debate, but they did it before the debate started, which they gave Mike Pence obviously as the winner. Wrote a bit of scathing articles about Tim Kaine's performance. It just was pretty dumb, to be quite honest with you, because the debate hadn't started yet when they released those articles. So yeah, just not the right thing to do, I guess. But yeah, what can you do? Sometimes you just like the foresight, and it happens quite a lot when you are the Republican Party. When the shift happened, when the Democratic Party was pretty much the racist party, and the Republicans were close to being the socialists, and then it just switched in the 60s. Oh shit, that was a huge lack of foresight. Um, so yeah, what can I say? It's just kind of the Republican way to do it. um, anyway, uh, yeah. Let's talk about NXT. So there are maybe three big stories on NXT, and all three have been talked about today. Well, not today, but yesterday. The first being the Dusty Classic. Two matches. The Authors of Pain completely destroying the Bollywood Boys in a first round match. Just nothing to talk about, really. Did the show for a while, and then they got beat up. And the other match was the main event of the evening between what's his name already? Yeah, Andrade Cien Almas, and he was teaming up with Cedric Alexander versus the Revival. So obviously the Revival were huge favorites because obviously they are the NXT Tag Champs, and they won. Unsurprisingly. It wouldn't be surprising, also to see them going far. Maybe it's a bit tough for me, but I don't see Gargano and Ciampa winning against them. I just see in the semifinals the big shock between the Revival and the Authors of Pain. The interesting part about this was the heel turn of Andrade Cien Almas. Not really surprising, as his character was going nowhere, it seeing Cedric Alexander being praised, and thank you Cedric, getting opportunity after opportunity despite losing, notoriously losing, if I may say so. um, that with the fact that Andrade Cien Almas is, he came as a good guy. He wanted to have fun with the NXT universe, and then they pit him against Austin Aries, pit him against Ty Dillinger, who were supposed to be bad guys, but they got cheered instead of him, and he snapped. Yeah, and to be fair, it was quite a dumb pin that. Cedric ate. He dodged first time the shatter machine, and then he went in the ropes and jumped, and there you go, shatter machine. What the fuck were you expecting? But yeah, I mean, you have reasons to be frustrated when you are Andrade Cien Almas, because he had Scott Dawson in a small package. Well, maybe more of a schoolboy pin, but yeah, he had him pinned like for a count of 6 maybe, until but Dashwalder was distracting the referee. Yeah, but okay, sure. So that's the first part, the first big part, big story in NXT. There were also interviews with Glorious 10. Well, more really Bobby Roode than Ty Dillinger, but that's because Dillinger is, he tries to speak, and it speaks volumes when he is the one being the more moderate person talking. Because holy shit, Bobby Roode just couldn't stop. Even when they talked about sanity, he was like, "Oh yeah, they're not. You can see the writing on the wall is glorious." Just stop it, man, please. So yeah, and the other interview was why No Way Jose and Rich Swann were in a tag team, and it boiled down to one thing: they were guys who weren't who were overlooked. Rich Swann because he's a bit small, and he likes to party, and No Way Jose because he likes to party, but he is big. He is, quite literally towering over over Rich Swann. So yeah, Rich Swann, who won his first, I think his first ever match, his first ever victory on NXT TV, if you can say so, on an episode of NXT. I think he hadn't won yet, but he won against Patrick Clark, who dresses like an aristocrat. It was weird. Patrick Clark being being Apollo Creed was already something, but Patrick Clark being George Washington is strange, and not necessarily in a good way. Uh, so yeah, uh, he couldn't really do anything. Like Rich Swan is, he's always been good. He's always been a tremendous athlete. He just wasn't there at the right time when he had all his matches before. uh, so yeah, second story is the women's division. So last week, Liv Morgan, Asuka, good night. Liv Morgan got a little bullied backstage by Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, who are friends apparently because they are Australians. I mean that's kind of the vibe I got from the commentary. Really, that's just the only thing that I could see. Yeah, she has made her friend come from Australia, and I was like, what? But there should be more. Because in Australia, most people are Australians, so it doesn't really count as a criteria to be friends. I think. I'm not sure. And she beat Danielle Camella, who wasn't, she wasn't bad, but Peyton Royce is said to be one of the other faces of of the women's division on NXT. Well, I mean, one of the other women to be destroyed by Asuka at one point or another. Though Billy Kay is in her corner, so yeah, I mean, Asuka won when she was against both Emma and Dana Brooks. So yeah, just it can happen. And yeah, the final story. I think I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, the final story is Samoa Joe beating up people because he's not happy. TikTok, strip Nakamura of the title. Give me the title. Give me Nakamura. Blah, 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 blah. He disrupted the much anticipated debut of Dan Mather. Dan Mather, 6'8", apparently 290 pounds, lots of muscles, big intense eyes, and he got laid the fuck out by Samoa Joe. Good job, Dan. So I think that was the bait and switch. I think they never really intended to make Dan Mather the big star because he's relatively unknown. He's been touted as one of the guys who's made waves in the performance center, but that doesn't mean shit actually. So yeah, not surprised, but still a bit surprised that it just was. There was literally no reaction until off screen something happened and the crowd went nuts, and it was Samoa Joe walking to the ring and good night, Dan Mather. Um, so yeah, it was pretty fun. Pretty fun episode of NXT. Obviously, you have three big stories and one that's gonna be even more important in the weeks to come with the debut of Sanity. Who are they? And all that. Obviously, I do think that given the layout of the bracket, some matches are going to happen like in last year's Dusty Classic on the on tour, on Florida tour, maybe in Australia if it happens before Toronto, because I think the finals will be in NXT Takeover Toronto. I'm not sure. I just have that kind of feeling. Yeah. But still. Oh, maybe Well, I don't know because that leaves a whole month and a half before reaching Toronto. So um, yeah. This actually it's just I'm being dumb right now. Just my last thought about the big story, of Nakamura. It just doesn't make sense even with kayfabe. Well, I mean, it makes sense to make him lose 6 weeks because obviously he 6 weeks are two tapings. So he'll be there on the first show that's being taped. I think it's going to be next week. I'm not sure. How many weeks has been it? Oh, it's only been 3 weeks. Fuck. Yeah. Because he's been missing literally since the first taping after not Brooklyn, but yeah. Since the one of the first tapings after the Cruiserweight Classic. So yeah, and obviously it was going to be that, but they're always talking about him on social media, and that's what I don't really understand. He's on house shows, so he's fighting. He's cleared to fight. Why he? Just a lack of consistency there, but nothing to really rip your hair about because he's not there on the episodes of NXT that you can see on the network. You have to literally go to Florida to see him wrestle. And I guess absence makes the heart grow fonder or something or some shit like that. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. I have to make a phone call in the morning tomorrow. I mean in the morning to be sure, but maybe in the afternoon it will be possible too. Let's just hope I don't have to wait until Monday to make the phone call because I want that shit to be done as quick as possible. Bye bye. Just